Hello everyone and welcome back to Victoria 3. Now I've been playing this game for a while and I think personally I've gotten pretty good at it and I've memorized a lot of its content. But what if I really wanted to test out that theory? And that's what we're going to do in this video. And what I plan to do is play as Sweden because I've gotten a lot of requests to play as Sweden again and play with a language that I don't understand at all, like Polish. I've looked around the map for a little bit and I feel like I've entered a different dimension. The Pharaoh's curse has blinded me from the truth because there's no way that this is a word. Also, I can't help but notice that Prussia is called Prusy. Something tells me I'm gonna have a lot of fun here. You know, I just said that.
Publiczne ubezpieczenie zdrowotne.
Never mind, I retract my previous statement. Well, enough complaining about the challenge that I chose to partake in. Let's get into the video game, the actual content. Research, just the usual, getting railways. Construction, just the usual, getting infrastructure. And also some other stuff, such as tooling workshops here and here. Then some coal mines, and there's only one place to put them, so let's get 3 of those should work. And then follow that up with steel. That way we will make the tools, which will then be used to get the coal out of the ground, which will then be used to make the steel, which will be able to make more tools. Enough of that, let's unpause and speed the game up. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about politics. Let's do the usual that I do. So, liberalism. Mostly liberalism. Mostly liberalism. We're gonna keep the monarchy because I don't want to deal with the impending civil war that will happen if I get rid of it. This literally just looks like they took a keyboard to like a grindstone or something. Now, I don't mean any disrespect to any Polish viewers out there, but Jesus Christ, why do you hate breathing so much? Why do you have 14-letter long words? I actually just counted this out. This is 19 letters long. Like I said before though, enough complaining about the challenge that I chose to partake in. Let's get back to the content. I have played this game long enough that I am pretty sure that this says, damn this labyrinth of a legal system. Now, usually that's the suboptimal option, but this one gets rid of bureaucracy and gives us radicals, both of which are not things I would like to modify in the direction that this is going to modify it in. So we're going to go with this option, which is only going to affect this. And this is Victoria 3. You know, I expect this to fail 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Enough complaining about the game that I chose to play. Let's get back to the content. I'm going to say that a lot in this video, aren't I? I believe this is one of the racism events. I think this is about the Sami people, I want to say. There's only 2 minorities in Sweden at the beginning of the game that I know of, and they're the Sami and the Ashkenazi people, so the Jewish people. So this could either be one of them, and right here it says Samska, which sounds a lot more like Sami than Ashkenazi. And I believe this is going to give them a -1 modifier for standard of living, which I don't want to do, so I think I'll just take the hit to bureaucracy, which is fine. We've got enough. And I think I just accidentally clicked the wrong option. So I just watched that clip back like 4 or 5 times, and it was actually -5% authority, which I forgot to use for degrees and stuff. Let's do that real quick. And bolster the intelligentsia. Oh crap, which one of them is bolster? This one has -30% at the beginning, so I'm going to assume that this one is the suppressed one, but I actually don't remember which order it's in, but I'm going to go with this one, the +30%. Also the industrialists and the rural fellows. I've got no authority left for decrees after that, but I don't really think I need to do any decrees at the moment. I think we're all good. Now is the point in the video where I pull out my phone, start playing the Battle Cats, and wait for something interesting to happen. This isn't sponsored or anything, I don't know, I like the game. So I can see, you know, from the image and the fact that the word is somewhat similar, that this is going to be -10% bureaucracy. I've got no idea what this is going to do. I've got absolutely no idea what this word means. Now, I recognize the word prava from over here on this tab, so I think that has something to do with laws, but I've actually got no idea what these other 2 words mean, and I cannot seem to decipher it. It's 20% something. This is going to give me 20% something. I'm thinking it's radicalism is what it's going to give me. But this is the radical word. Yeah, I want to say this event had something to do with corruption. That's all I got left to say though. But this is going to give me 20% of something, and this is only going to give me 10% of something. And popularity really doesn't matter except for roleplay purposes. So I'm going to go with this one. This is the word for radicalism. So it's not adding radicalism. I really don't know. I'm going to click it and just see what happens. I don't see any immediate changes. Doesn't have anything to do with success chance. I guess we'll find out what just happened later. We have become a major power. That's pretty neat, I guess. Sweden apparently outranks China. Also, our 2 ports are done, so now we can actually finally get to constructing useful things. We do not have a lot of money for this, though. Now, if I know anything about economics, it's that less government control results in more growth. So let's just do that, because I don't have the money to control it anyway. This is an enormous blob of text. So I recognize this event, but I actually cannot remember exactly what it's about. I want to say this event had something to do with corruption. That's all I got left to say, though. But this is going to give me 20% of something, and this is only going to give me 10% of something. And popularity really doesn't matter except for roleplay purposes. So I'm going to go with this one. If I remember right, this one says he can say whatever he wants. This one says not all is fair in love and war, or something like that. I'm going to go with this one because this one has negative opinion. And, you know, this just gives a percentage for political strength or group interest or whatever, and the armed forces already don't have that much, so a percentage amount of a very small amount is still a very small amount. I read this word as microwavable at first. These all look like bad options. This one is going to give me a setback. What I think this one is going to do is it's going to take longer. It's going to give me plus 10% time, but it's going to give me plus 10% chance, and it's going to give me a setback. And that looks like that's what's happened. I completely forgot. I need to start improving relations with people. Let's go with Britain because they like to take Norway. Let's go with France because why not? And Russia because they already hate us. This one is about subsistence farms. I usually go with this one because this one gives me radicals. Even though it's a small amount, I don't care. Let me talk a little bit more about why I picked that other option and then get the free migration attraction. But before I talk about that, I want to mention that I'm kind of sick right now. So I'm very nasally and I've been like sniffling a lot. Anyways, the reason why I didn't go with extra migration attraction, even though Sweden has a very small population and could benefit a lot from more migration attraction, I found that I never really use migration attraction because naturally there's almost always enough people there for your industries. Now, unless you're... Oh, look at that. We got landed voting. Let's wait for our first election to change that again. It doesn't look like there's anything else here I can really change until I wiggle around the interest groups. Back to what I was saying earlier. Unless you're playing as a country like Jan Mayen or something, or like you're playing as like Yemen or something like that, somewhere where there's just no population and not really anything at all. Because the honest truth is, based off of the time that it takes to build these buildings, you're going to have enough time for enough people to move to that area to fill in that job. And if you have more jobs available than you have population, that increases your standard of living, which increases your migration attraction anyway. Our king died, so he is now part of the new guy is part of the intelligentsia, so we can get the intelligentsia in the government. We can start passing laws that I like, such as wealth voting. I'd like to go to census suffrage, but or census suffrage, is that what it's called? Census whatever it is, but this is going to radicalize the landowners. Now, as every single heir to the throne that is born in this game, they have become part of the landowners, and they're a jingoist, because of course they are, because they always are. Paradox, please fix this. Anyway, though, let's stop complaining about the game that I chose to play and get back to the content. The situation with radicals is currently very unfavorable, and also we need trains now. Revolution, guys, is the most Polish thing I've ever seen. Let's just stop reforming and give in to the people with guns. Because of course that's gonna work, you know? That's never gone wrong before, right? Anyway, we need trains, but I still, like, really don't have that much money to pay to make train factories. I'm sure that the principles of laissez-faire economics will guide us, and that since there is now a demand, that a supply will eventually be procured in some way. Actually, it looks like our investors are too poor for that too, so I'm just going to import them, I think. I believe we have a trade deal with Prusy, so I'm going to trade with them. I never talked about my goal with this playthrough. My end goal here is power. But if great power cannot be obtained, then we can at least settle for mediocre power and still being alive at the end of this, which I think is going to be a challenge in and on itself because there's a lot of radicals in my country, almost no loyalists. I don't know how to fix that issue, and I'm clicking a lot of buttons without knowing what they do. Not only that, but the cursed amulet that I took from the Pharaoh's tomb has been whispering to me all night We have railways and water engines. I don't remember exactly what they're called. Let's get mechanized workshops next. See, what am I thinking? This is not how I should go. I should get postal savings because this will give me more investment money, whatever it's called. I don't remember. Investment pool contribution. And we are currently struggling a lot with investment money, which is, I don't think I've ever said that before. Russia and Prussia are invading Denmark, because of course they are, and France and Spain have sided with Denmark. Good for them. Maybe I should side with Denmark, you know, because Denmark is rightful Swedish territory. Yeah, let's do that. But let's save the game first. There. I want to mention, I haven't reformed the army at all. The army is still using line infantry, because I don't have any bullets yet. So basically, if we go up against anyone that isn't Russia or Denmark, we're gonna lose. And Denmark is on my side, and Prussia is the main opponent here. I don't know what this means, but there's only one option here. Hopefully that doesn't hurt me too much, whatever it is. Both of these give 10 and 30% to interest groups, but I don't know what it's giving them. It's a green percentage number, so I assume it's something good. But what specifically? There's so many modifiers in this game. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be really attacking much, though. So I'm leaning towards this guy. I'll just go with the first option. I was importing and trading a lot with Prussia. That's a problem. Let's just import it from Great Britain. It's not like we'll get convoy raided or anything. No, we won't get convoy raided. We've got 10 ships. That'll be enough to protect us, right? Anyways, I think I'm just going to ignore that this whole thing here is happening because I don't really have enough troops to really do anything about it. And I want to have them guarding my coastline against Russian naval invasions. Speaking of war, let's get another general so that we have 2. There's a romantic guy and a defensive strategist. Also direct. But Polish calls it whatever on earth this is. I'm going to go with this guy because he's a defensive strategist. Now, direct is also a very good trait, but I just like this one. Or actually, this one gives 10% offense. And he's a logistics whatever. I remember direct only giving 5% offense. That might be new. I'm not sure. This is a new update, and this is my first time playing with the new update, but from what I understand, it's mostly just bug fixes and stuff. I don't think I'm going to be really attacking much, though, so I'm leaning towards this guy. But this guy's also a logistics dude, and logistics in this game make no sense. So that's a really good trait. I don't know. Let's go with the third option. Let's not mobilize either of them. Let's just keep them garrisoned. We are currently making enough money, I think. We can start constructing stuff. So let's tone down the construction sectors. Let's leave 2, I guess. Let's see what we need. So the most purchased items here are mostly good, except for services. Can't really do much about that, except for switching out the urban sectors, but I don't think I have enough coal for that at the moment. We need liquor, so that's food industries or rye farms. Food industries are a lot more efficient, so we might want to spec into those. And wood. Now, most of Scandinavia, except for Norway, has this modifier here, Scandinavian forests, which gives you 20% throughput for your logging camps. So that is something I think I want to go with. Lots of logging camps. And we're going to need some tools with that. So let's get those too. Actually, should we get steel and let's get steel instead so that we can just make more efficient tooling workshops. But we've only got 1 coal mine, so now we're going to need more coal. Or if we're just using it for steel, that might actually be fine. So I think we're actually good. All right. Also, apparently we have research-intensive agriculture, and I didn't notice, so let's do that. Now, grain is dirt cheap. Well, it was already dirt cheap, but it's even dirtier cheaper. The war has come here. That is a big problem. Uh-oh. Oh, there's 50 French units and then 40 Spanish ones, so we might actually be good. And Russian units generally don't perform very poorly because they generally don't upgrade them. Looks like they're still using line infantry and mobile artillery, so are on par with ours. But we've got France with their very advanced army, and Spain, which is mostly worthless. Spain is actually one of my favorite countries to play in this game, but their AI just isn't really that great, which I guess is historical. Historically speaking, this was not a great time period for Spain. Well, to be fair, anywhere past Napoleon hasn't really been a great time for Spain. Aha! Oh, I just discovered a new button on my mouse that pauses the game. Oh, well, it's not doing it anymore. Okay, maybe I'm just insane. Regardless, the war is over and I didn't have anything enforced on me. And this has kind of changed nothing except for... Oh, actually, this has changed a few things. So the funny word has taken over Schleswig-Holstein, and Russia has taken a treaty port in Jutland. Good, good. The Danish deserve this for being Danish, I guess. So I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes, and I paused the government construction when I built all the construction sectors to just let private construction do all of it. And I forgot to actually unpause it. So we haven't been constructing anything for like a significant period of time. I actually think we're still making enough money I can get rid of this consumption tax. Which is now that means that we can suppress or bolster another interest group. And we should have enough reserves that we'll be able to work out the balance before it gets too much of an issue. And who better to give the shaft than the landowners, because I love doing the same thing every single video. And YouTube analytics tell me that you like seeing me do the same thing every video too. But YouTube analytics also tell me that about 95% of you are not subscribed. So you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. And if you do want to find out what I'm talking about, then you can subscribe and watch all my other videos because they're similar to this one. Except the ones where I don't play Victoria 3 and the ones where I do something else. Oh, God, I was about to start recording something and I just like threw up a little bit in my mouth. Yeah, I think this might be a sign that I should stop recording for now and end the video or pick this up later. But I'm going to be busy all day tomorrow and the day after that. So I don't want to be sitting on the footage for 2 days. So I think I am going to end the video here. So this was a short video. Probably not that impressive, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty neat experiment, pretty neat challenge. We are still alive. We are still on the map, which I think is a pretty neat goal since I didn't barely reform my government. I passed one law, didn't reform the military, still using line infantry from like Napoleon era, even though it's almost, oh, it's mid 1800. And I doubled the economy. And I quadrupled the amount of radicals compared to the loyalists. Well, that wasn't grammatically correct, but this next sentence is, you should consider commenting a challenge you want to see me do next. Also consider liking, subscribing, and all that bullshit. Goodbye.